Hey, Ray Del Vecchio here from websiteprofitcourse.com. Let's dig into 5 reasons why every small business needs a website. A lot of small business owners, they've maybe tried it in the past. They may have tried to build it themselves or have somebody close to them build it, and they weren't quite sure how to do it the right way. Or maybe they've used a web designer in the past and they didn't get the full value out of it. Regardless, that's not a reason to stop and to give up. You definitely need one now more than ever. And reason number 1 is that a website is one of the only things that you have full control over online. The other thing is your email list. But if you're relying 100% on social media, their algorithms are always changing, and generally every social media platform gives you more organic traffic and reach in the first couple of years of that platform. And then once the platform gets big enough, they're gonna make you pay to get that reach. That's happened with Facebook, it's happening with Instagram, and I'm sure that's gonna happen with future platforms like TikTok, which is right now probably the best one to go viral on. But if you're relying on going viral, that's not a good strategy. The other thing is some of them, if you try and circumvent the rules, you may not even be doing it purposefully, but they may ban your account if they catch you doing something, and the most obvious one here is just fake reviews. The platform that has the most strict algorithm for reviews is Yelp. They might only show 10% of the reviews that you get on there because they think it's coming from fake accounts or accounts that don't have enough activity. On top of that, those review sites are going to show the negative reviews, and your website is the place where you can counteract that with better, high-quality reviews that are real. Number 2 is branding. Since I work with local contractors, one thing that I found is that so many people find a local contractor through offline marketing. Most frequently, that's through lawn signs or trucks. They see you working on a job in town, they remember your name, maybe they know the company name, so they're going to search for your company name, even if you're not getting that generic search traffic for the service. But if people search for your company name, you want your website to show number 1 on that search result, so they're not going to those third-party platforms where you might have those negative reviews. And then your website is going to obviously link out to every other property that you're set up on. So it's really the hub of your entire online presence. The fact is, most people that leave reviews are going to leave negative reviews. The people that want their voice heard because they had a bad experience, they're way more motivated to leave a review than somebody that had a good experience. So on top of counteracting those negative reviews and maybe telling the real story of what happened, you need to proactively generate positive reviews. You can get the text reviews on the other websites, but even better than that is a video review that you can embed on your own website. That's going to be way more trustworthy than somebody just leaving a couple lines about how they hate you. And beyond that, instead of just having a generic business description field or something like that that's on like a Facebook profile, you can tell the full story of your business. You want your about page to have pictures of your team, how the business started, what you're good at, how long you've been in business, where you do jobs at. You can say that a lot more in depth on your website and also design around that content so it looks great. People love stories, so that's the best way to build trust. You're definitely going to get that boost in trust if you link your online branding and your offline branding. So if on the website you have images or videos of you and your team, and you're in front of your truck, you got your logo, you might have an embroidered polo shirt with your logo, maybe you're talking to a homeowner. Those are all the signals that people are going to use to figure out whether or not they want to contact you. Number 3 is information 24/7. Obviously, people nowadays, they don't want to have to talk to a person to get the information. They want to get as much as they can from the website, and they might be busy during work hours where they can't contact you when you're available. So why wouldn't you have that information accessible to everybody 24 hours a day? The other great part about this is that you can point people to the website if they ask a question, or you can generate content when you get similar questions. Every business is going to get the same types of frequently asked questions from their customers. And if you turn that into content on your website, either answered on your homepage, services pages, or you write blog posts around how-to questions, not only is that going to build up trust with Google, but people are going to be able to get those answers right away, and they're going to be more likely to contact you. And I think every small business owner feels that they're an expert in their business, yet so many of them don't share that expertise. They have this scarcity mindset that they don't want to share their secrets of how they do business. The reality is, the more you share, the more people are going to be attracted to you. A great example of this across every industry is what a job costs. So if somebody's searching for a kitchen remodel, they want to know how much does an average kitchen remodel cost. And if you write a post about that, highlighting all the different factors that go into that pricing, and maybe even create a little headshot video like this discussing it, that's going to make that person feel confident that you're giving them an accurate quote, You're not trying to gouge them and charge them way too much. Everything comes back to trust, and this is another way to build trust on your website. Number 4 is organic traffic. Over time, as long as you build authority within Google and you stay active, you're going to be able to get free traffic from people searching for those generic keywords like I said before. If somebody is searching for kitchen remodeler in your area, in your state, in your county, and your website shows up, you're going to get people that didn't know you before, not through referrals or people that are searching your business name, but people that are looking for a handful of companies. They find you through Google. That's the type of thing that really grows your business when you start ranking. Now you have to realize this takes time, and most small business owners expect this to happen way too soon, especially if they didn't have a website presence before. This is going to happen quicker if you have a website out there already and it's on the same domain, it's been there for a few years. It's also going to happen quicker if you have reviews and content on other social platforms. The number one factor that goes into this is links. When it comes to small businesses, this means getting links from local organizations, associations. The more you network around your area and the more of an impact you have in your community, the easier it's going to be to get these. Some of them you might have to pay for. It might cost you $100 or $200 a year to join a local business organization and get listed in their directory. That's the kind of thing you got to be willing to invest in and test out. The easiest thing that you can do to get free traffic is to set up your Google business profile. That's your map listing on Google, and make sure you keep that active, and that's the most important place to generate reviews. They also have other features like uploading your photos and videos, adding posts, status updates. So you want to keep that active, make sure you're showing Google that you're a real active business. Over time, they're going to reward you, especially if you're doing it more than your competitors in that industry. I said it before that you control your email list, so if you don't have a customer list of emails, that's another easy way to ask for a review, and you may want to incentivize it. You may need to sweeten the deal to get somebody to actually, pull out their phone or their laptop and go on Google and leave you a review. But the reality is you might have to follow up a couple times, maybe send them a letter. If you do a job that's $5,000, $10,000, it's worth it to spend a couple of dollars to send them a card, maybe a thank you card that gives them the URL where they can leave a review. And what I like to do on my client websites is create a really easy link that forwards directly to that directory. I'll set something up like theirdomain.com/Google that automatically goes to the Google review page. And last but not least, number 5 is paid traffic. This is for people that want to advertise. And I think that the most important thing with advertising is setting the expectation. This is another area where small businesses that are just getting set up think that paid ads are an easy button for getting new business. That's not the way it works, especially if you don't have those trust signals across the website and other platforms online. You're going to want to start there before you get into paid ads. But once you have a presence, then adding paid traffic as another marketing channel is a good idea. I have the most experience with Google search. Like I said, people searching for phrases like kitchen remodeling, roofing, that kind of thing. You can test sending them to your homepage. This is another reason why it's important to have a website. You can test different designs for landing pages. See what has the highest conversion rate. To do that, you're going to need to have Google Analytics installed or some kind of tracking software to see how people interact with the website once they land on there. I like to track contact form submissions, people that are emailing them for a quote, or people that click on a phone number. Those ad platforms usually optimize around conversions. You get to define your conversion, whatever you want it to be. I always view launching the campaign as the learning phase. And the same thing happens with the automation on the back end. Before that the platforms optimize around conversions, they go through a learning phase. You're doing the same thing, analyzing the data and figuring out what's the best way to bid and what platforms are the best to use. So if you're not online already, I hope you realize that it's very important to get your website set up. Most small business websites are created with WordPress. So if you're a web designer and you want to sell a WordPress website to a client, I got training in the description below that'll help you learn what it takes. If you like the tips within this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Think long term and ignore these short-term strategies that could potentially get your business on the wrong side of Google or Facebook. You generally do well in the long term. And I've had several businesses that I work with that over the course of 2 to 3 years, we triple or quadruple traffic. I've also had other small business owners that have expected that type of growth and they don't get it within the first 6 to 9 months and they are dejected by that. You gotta be realistic when it comes to this. Thanks for checking out this entire video, and I'll link up a couple others here if you'd like to keep watching. And like I mentioned, if you want to check out that WordPress training, I'll include it in the description below.